Welcome again. My name is Eno Ekong. As I take you through the second chapter of my book, Understanding Grace, I still remain a marriage and family counselor. The chapter 2 talks about the importance of grace. Say there that grace is a defining word in the Christian faith. It is the basis of our admission into the family of God. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8 and 9 say, for by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourself, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest anyone should boast. So grace is also the secret of exploit. But by grace of God I am what I am, and his grace towards me was not in vain, but I labored more abundantly than they all, yet not I, but the grace of God which was with me. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 10. That was Paul's confession of grace, the secret of exploit, grace. So we need grace to navigate through the difficult moment of life. We use the word grace sometimes to describe many things in life. Sometimes you hear people talk about a well-coordinated athlete or dancer, and they say, hey, it's grace. You hear people say, good manners and being considerate of others. They call it grace. We talk of beautiful, well-chosen words. They say, oh, he has grace to speak. You have consideration and care for other people. They say, oh, he has grace to care for people. Various expressions of kindness and mercy. To show grace is to extend favor or kindness to one who doesn't deserve it and can never earn it. So receiving God's grace or God's acceptance by grace always stands in sharp contrast to earning it on the basis of works. It's not by works, but it's he whom he chooses. As long as you've given your life to Christ and you do the needful, then you enjoy the grace of God. It's the prerogative of God to let out his grace on whomsoever he desires. So if grace is important, then that means I should grow in grace. So in growing in grace, I must operate with a heart of gratitude. If you read the scripture, it says, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellence of the power may be of God and not of us. That's 2 Corinthians chapter 4, if you read from verse 7 to 15. Grace also, we need to grow. How do we need to grow? Faithfully use what you are given. There are graces that you don't exercise. Those graces you don't exercise definitely cannot grow. It's just like an athlete who is not exercising. There's no way he can grow. There's no way he can become a champion. So you want to grow in grace, then there is a need to exercise what you are given. Say, for to everyone who has, more will be given. How will that happen? When you exercise what you have. Be humble. You want to grow in grace? Be humble. But he gives more grace. Therefore he says, God resists the proud, but give grace to the humble. So be humble and you will enjoy more of the grace of God. The secret of humility is removing yourself from the spotlight. Simple. Take yourself off the spotlight. Always point people to God as the source of your victory. He is our grace. He is our source of victory. When we take ourselves out of the spotlight and he is in the spotlight, then it looks as if this guy just knows how to do this thing. This guy is gifted, is graced in this area. It's simply Christ. As long as you are not putting yourself on the spotlight, Christ becomes your victory. Christ becomes your grace. Christ becomes your breakthrough. And at the end of the day, your testimonies will be out there for people to share on your behalf, because you let Christ become the center of the show. Well, we'll take it again from there as we take the next chapter. Thank you again for listening. But make sure you get the book, Understanding Grace.